Hello and welcome to episode 26 of the Ski Instructor Podcast, sponsored by Castley Skis. My name's Dave Burrows and I'm the director and owner of SnowPros Ski School based here in Valais in Switzerland. This week I bring you an interview that I travelled to Zermatt for at the end of July. The interview is with Demian Franzen. For those of you that don't know him, Demian Franzen is an educator for Swiss Snowsports. He's also was on the Swiss demo team until last year. He's also heavily involved in the Zermatt ski club. So it was a great interview, and I've known Demian for a couple of years actually. Demian was an examiner on some of the courses that I've taken for Swiss Snowsports, and also helped me out with a little bit of extra work that I needed for my brevet fédéral. So I've known him a long time, and that really comes through actually in the interview, and these in-person interviews are always really good, and you can hear the sort of the interaction that we have with each other. At some point in these interviews, we were in a private room in the Hotel Schönegg in Zermatt, and there were a couple of people that kind of were buzzing around in the background, and someone came into the room at some point, so you might hear that. But during this interview, we initially talk about his sort of journey, through skiing and how he got to where he is now. We talk a bit about the Swiss demo team, and then we get onto some subjects that I'd really wanted to talk about for a long time, which is that sort of to do with the Swiss style, the unique way in which they ski and where that comes from, and then we sort of finish off this first half with the structure of the Swiss Snowsports exams and what's involved in that. So our interview starts not in the normal place. In fact, we were in the middle of a conversation about Didier Defargo and why he was in Zermatt. So it doesn't start as the interviews normally start, but I'm sure you'll work it out. Enjoy this first half, and I'll catch you in the middle.
He has been here today to. So I didn't know that, but he took over the job of Bernhard Russi. Did you know that? He's like now the new slope developer, the slope architect, which Bernhard Russi did for Bernhard Russi. He did.
I thought he was doing that. I thought he was doing inspection. Like, what would you call it? Calibration.
It could be, but I think that he is also sort of like a designer as well. And anyhow, so he has been up here today, and it will be very cool to hear what his report will say, if it's positive or negative.
Is he doing? So he's doing the.
So he will design the slope, and then he will say if it's possible or not.
This is for that course they're proposing to run from top of Zermatt down into Cervinia for the World Cup.
Exactly.
So they were going to replace, is it Courchevel? Kind of one of those.
No, sort of. There was a huge media thing about it, but in the end, they are. They want to put this race at the beginning of November, so it's a perfect date for the downhillers. Another cool opportunity is that the downhillers would have to race more, because they always struggle a little bit with the overall World Cup to get the same races. Exactly. So those are two positive things about it, and then the third one is a cool thing is that you start in one country and you finish in another country.
That is cool.
So
just like you guys do in the winter when you take your clients for lunch.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome.
All right. Welcome to the Ski Instructor Podcast, Demian Franzen.
Thank you.
How are you?
For being here. I'm good. Very relaxed.
Just got back from Sweden.
Yep.
What are you doing there? What were you doing there?
So we've been just visiting family there. My wife is Swedish.
Okay.
So we went up there to to visit family, to the kids that they see their grandparents, and no, it was really fun. And so
that's cool.
And when we came back, or like sort of on the way up, we got that mentioned about this self-quarantine, that Sweden was or is like a high-risk country.
Yeah.
And like from, I will say now, like from yesterday on, they said it's not anymore. So, but we've done our 10 days quarantine, so that's fab.
That's great.
Yeah. Jesus.
Wow. How's your Swedish?
I understand a lot.
Do you?
Yeah. I actually even talk with my. So I have two daughters, but with my younger daughter, I even talk a little bit more. I even talk a little bit Swedish. So yeah.
Because Swedish, for me, is even more difficult, I imagine, to pick up than Swiss German would be.
Like my wife, when she moved here, for her it was so much easier to pick up the Walliser dialect than like the proper high German.
Yeah.
So she picked up that actually quite fast. And actually, when you listen to it, there's a lot of combination in it between German, English, and maybe even a little bit of French or whatever. So you can actually always imagine like, oh, what does this word mean? Oh, like, yeah, there's somewhere a synonym about it. So yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, so
cool.
No, that's good. Yeah.
I have to say I've started. So my wife is originally Romanian.
Okay.
And I don't know what it's like in your family. I imagine your wife speaks to the kids in Swedish.
Right. Yeah.
What's your common language between you then?
English.
No way.
Yeah. So me and my wife, we speak English. I speak to my kids German.
Yeah.
And she speaks to them Swedish.
Huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got a similar thing going on. So our common language is English. She speaks to my daughter in Romanian, and then my daughter goes to school in French.
Okay. Wow.
And I hear them speaking French sometimes as well. Which is okay. So I speak French and English, but the Romanians I understand more than I can speak.
Yeah. Same here.
Like I'm not very confident to speak at all, but I because you end up in the family. I guess it's the same with you, right? You're saying the same things all the time, especially with kids.
Yeah,
like, don't do that. Go over there. Do this. Like whatever.
Exactly.
Huh? Okay.
And so I mean that's it's very international with us.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Oh, that's fun.
Huh? Did you meet here in Zermatt?
Yeah. So she has done a season or two here, and then we met, and that's how we fell in love, and
that's how they
one
get
to
you.
the other.
That's how they get you. No, because I tell you what, because I wrote originally to you because I've been trying to. My aim this summer is to stop interviewing people from Bayesian and Anglophone people, and try and get a different perspective with these interviews on skiing culturally in other countries. So the last one that I just recorded, it hasn't come out yet, but it will, is with Josh Foster from Canada. Great interview in the can from here. That was really fantastic. But I live here in Switzerland, and I want to get. I know what it means to be Swiss and to be within skiing.
Yeah, right.
But I want to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Right.
And you're the horse. We always start by talking about sort of your skiing background.
Right.
And when I spoke to Arsene, I spoke to you, he always rolls you out as like the best English speaker that he's got, which is cool because is it right, your mother is Australian?
Exactly.
You told me before.
Yeah. So my mom is Australian, and I actually even skied for Australia for like 3-4 years. Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to come to that because that shows a little bit. The anecdote I think I've got is that when we were on a course together, I got paired up with you, and you were like, "Dave, just follow me, no problem." And I didn't realise at the time, but I'm trying to follow the tracks of a guy who skied in the World Cup. Right. It's pretty serious and actually impossible. So fair enough. But you're one of my favourite skiers, certainly in the demo team. I think what you do on snow is amazing. It's good, But how did you? Presumably, you grew up in Zermatt. You were born on skis.
Exactly.
As soon as you can walk.
Yeah, so I mean, my dad and my mom there have no like big ski history at all. Like they're not like ski instructors, or they have not been like any former ski racers. But yeah, so we were always skiing on the weekends, or like every day off, every half day off. We went out and we were skiing together. Had some picnic with us and went off, and then as normal you head up afterwards to the ski club and you do your first school races, and it goes not too bad, and then you go further, you go into the regional team in those days, and then it was like ski valley team, and then afterwards, when I was like 14, 15, I decided to go down to Brick to the boarding school of the ski,
sports school, right?
Yeah, sports school, exactly.
Now, I don't know if that exists in other countries, but that's certainly a big thing here, isn't it? If you reach a decent level here, you've got to go to the sports school, because if you want to progress on towards the national team, I'm guessing.
Exactly. I mean, that is definitely like one way, like the academic way, sort of like the education way. You can also like learn a cook or be a carpenter or whatever, and follow as well the same path. But of course, then you need to have as well like a fantastic boss and a fantastic a company who's willing to take you, because you're like you're not helping the company at all.
No, because you're never there, right?
Yeah. So I chose that way, and did my 4 or 5 years in that school, and in that school I afterwards managed to get into the C team, or into the junior national ski team. And I was in there for 2 years, and then got injured, came back, didn't brought the results, and then it goes fast in Switzerland. Like, there's a lot of competition, a lot of young guys pushing, and so then they kicked me out of the team, which was fine, like, because, like, yeah. I mean, it's fair. Like, it was black and white.
Clear, right?
Yeah, black and white. You didn't brought the results, Yeah. And then so that's usually that is meaning that, okay, either you go back to the regional team, or you stop, or in my case, then I changed nationalities, and then I changed to the Australian ski team. But that was like. That was in the process where like Kilian Albrecht, I think he changed as well, and like afterwards also Christoph Ruf from Verbier, he also changed to Moldavia. So there were like a bunch of guys who were changing nationalities, and like for the FIS that was something not new, but like it was not so common, so the whole process went a little bit longer. So until everything finally decided through the Swiss Federation, Australian Federation, the FIS, until everything has been decided, like the budgets were done for the Australian ski team, so I had to do 1 year just all by myself, like
doing your own skis,
go to the captain's meeting, getting the bibs, reserving hotels.
I suppose that's quite cool though. What's involved.
Yeah, also it opened my eyes in that respect, that like. First you just thought, those coaches have like a fantastic life. You mean they just come up, they set some gates, and they talk shit on the radio, and off you go. But there was so much more.
It's true.
Managing in the whole process, and so like traveling like from one corner of the Europe to the other corner, 6-7 hours.
Yeah. Doing
the skis, going to the captain's meeting, and then being sort of like mentally prepared to perform the next day. It was tough, but it was a fantastic education for myself, because in those days like internet was there, but it was not. Yeah, you still had to call up hotels. You still had to it was not that easy as it is now.
Yeah.
And so that was really, really cool.
And you were racing at that point, World Cup, Europa Cup.
I was more on the FIS circuit. FIS circuit, maybe I did like 1 or 2 European Cup races, but I was not on my level. I didn't bring anything to be competing on the European Cup level. And
I meant to ask someone the other day. I meant to ask Lynn, because I interviewed her about this. So is the jump from FIS to Europa Cup is as massive? Is there, is it huge? And then the jump from Europa Cup to, say, World Cup, that would also be huge, or is it?
No, I think that the step between European Cup and World Cup is definitely even bigger than between FIS and Europa Cup. It's just because it involves so much more whole media, whole spectators. There's so much more involved in it, like your surrounding. And also like how they prepare the slopes. It's just like in World Cup, it's just ice from top to bottom each race. And European Cup and FIS races. I mean, some resorts they do. They put water on the slopes, but on some others they don't. So like you have more similarity there. So I think just from the point of just like how like your distress level is definitely higher on the World Cup, and so so that's what I did, and then I could go to the first time I met my team was in 2005 in Bormio in the World Championships. So they said, "Oh yeah, you had not too bad results in the FIS, so come up and have a go." And so that's what I did. And after that was a little bit of a pity. Then after that race, I went back, did some races in Switzerland, and then I did my ACL. And then after that, sort of like this whole dream of like going to Turin 2006 for the Olympics, that just blew away. So I did like a recovery season, and then 2007 in the World Championships in Åre in Sweden, I did that race, always slalom, giant slalom, and then after that I sort of I quit it. I stopped, just in the feeling that like sort of at that point I was maybe 22, 23. You sort of see, like your friends are earning money. They have like a good life here in one way, or like they are on their own feet. And like, of course, I had like sponsors, and I was very grateful for that. But like in the end of the day, like it was zero, or even an investment from my side. And also like from the whole coaching stuff, I just had sort of the feeling that they were not bringing me to the next level. But it was cool in one way to invest those 3 more years, just so I could decide when to stop with ski racing. I think that was important for me, and that's why I could also afterwards still, carry on what I'm doing now, being an examinator, being on the demo team, being a ski teacher, because it was not frustration. It was, I still have a fantastic feeling and very good emotions when it comes to skiing. It's good, right? Because
you get to explore as far as you could have gone.
Exactly.
And then right, in your mind.
Yeah.
There's no unanswered questions.
No.
It's not like, could I have, maybe if I'd have gone down there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, so that was really important for me.
That's really cool. That's really cool. So then what led you after that? So you came back to Zermatt, so right, I still want to be on snow. What's next?
Well, there was a lot of unfinished projects. In one way, I had to finish my education in Brig, in the sports school, because we always went in our summer. We always went down to Australia to train and to do competitions. So I was from never there. I was not even. They didn't even see me. So I had to finish that, and I was very very grateful that I did that. It was just like sort of. It's like sort of a thing. Like I'm not a person who wants to like do unfinished stuff. So I didn't know if that would bring me anything or not in the future, but it was just like a mental thing. Okay, I need to finish that. So so I did that, and then I started already in my ski racing career. I did like one course of ski instructing courses with Swiss Snowsports, and then in 2008, I think, or 9, just shortly when I finished ski racing, I finished my instructor course. Then I did my Brevet Federal, and then it just went on and on and on. Then 2011 education pool, and 2012 I made the qualifications for the demo team, and then just super much involved.
They can't get rid of you from the demo team. You're still in it.
No, actually, I quit the demo team last year, 2019.
So that was your last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a huge turnover. So like in Switzerland, or like in most countries, they do like shortly after interski or a year after interski, they do new trials, and I was not willing to go again for another trial, and also I was not ready to invest again the same time and the same amount of energy into that team. And it's sort of like it's also like sort of it's a bunch of friends, and like a new generation came now in, and so there was like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 of us were quitting, and now there was like so that was a big step to now like bringing a lot of new people into the demo team. And
I've seen some of those new guys ski. Good skiers.
Yeah. I mean, no, the quality is definitely there.
It's funny, you know, like I've noticed that in some of the other stuff that I've done in my life previously. I won't bore you, listener, with what they are, but when you're in teams, sometimes it's really, really good for a period of time, and part of the skill is knowing when to get out and when to stop before you hit the sort of the downside of that curve, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was definitely not an easy decision. Like, I mean, I did that decision maybe like in April, May last season, also in 2019, last season. And then like sort of, easy, no worries, I'm still like the same guy, blah blah blah. But then like when you come back onto the slopes with the whole education team, and then you see the new demo team, then you sort of maybe it would have been good, but then again, maybe it's so. Every choice in life you take, you know, like it can be positive or negative, but I think that I've done the right decision, but I'm still very, very involved in it. So
that's cool.
Still developing stuff, and
what I was going to ask you about that was, so the demo team is almost in essence it's a professional demo team, pretty, you know, more or less. You know, they have a lot of time to practice by the looks of things, but also the way that Swiss Snowsports set it up. We're jumping a little bit into the next topic of Swiss Snowsports, but I don't know whether this is exactly right, because my experience on courses is reasonably limited, but a demonstrator comes to each course along with someone from education, or do you run the courses
No,
So
it
is it
doesn't.
obligatory to be part of the demo team to run courses, or how
So
does it-
like it's sort of like the demo team is part of the education pool. So and out of the education pool, which is like 35 people, out of that pool there is then 8 or 10
who go into the
who
demo
go into the demo team.
Uh-huh.
But it doesn't require that. A course can also be led by somebody from the education pool.
I understand.
So the demonstrators, they don't have like in education level, they don't have any higher status than the pool itself.
Yeah,
So
so it just
the-
happens to be that.
Exactly. So sometimes it just happens to be that the demonstrator is there,
Yeah,
but the course would also be happening if the demonstrator would not be there.
okay.
The demonstrator just has of course opportunities and has sort of like events which they need to go, like interski.
Yeah,
If there's like an invitation from other countries, some also like world championships and stuff like that. That's the core team which is going to those events.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's all right. So I just got lucky in getting you on my course, or not lucky.
Or not.
Yeah. Oh, just do this. It's easy. Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny. Okay, I'll just let this guy take his suitcase. All right. So while we were, the demo team. Okay, we covered that. The education pool, we covered that. When we were, let's delve a little bit into the technique side, because I think people will be quite interested in this.
Right.
I rave about Swiss skiing because it's so free and it's so how would you say? I think stylistically it's quite different to many of the other nations that we see.
Correct.
There are certain stylistic elements in, say, some of the, Australian, New Zealand, Korean, Japanese skiing, like that stylistically very different.
Yeah.
But amongst the European nations, European landmass,
Right.
obviously we're in Switzerland,
Yeah.
the Swiss certainly have a style, and I think it comes a little bit from this concept that we talked about before, about this sort of dynamic balance concept. And Arsene explained it really, really well to me one time when we were on that thing, and he talked about that you just have to kind of do what's necessary at the right time. So it's not necessarily, we're not really sort of making shapes. If you need to lean in at a certain point, just lean in. You need to angulate at a certain point, you do it. Like you just do whatever you need to do. There's no prescriptive way. When you look through the manual, it doesn't say you must ski like this.
Yeah.
It talks very much about kind of like the dynamic balance
Exactly.
concept.
Yeah. So to pick up on that, like for us, I think like the core thing with us is like sort of like the function how it works between snow and skis, and whatever happens above that, especially above your belly button and up, you're quite free as long as it doesn't like interrupt your function back onto the skis again. So if you rotate with your upper body and that's why your tail of the ski goes away or slides away. Okay, then there has to come sort of some kind of a correction from your upper body because you've been doing too much rotation. But otherwise, we could also just leave it there because that's some kind of a that's your individual style, and every and it's just interesting because at the moment we are developing a new racing concept for Swiss ski, and also there like we just saw it now, like I mean Marcel Hirscher, he's like maybe 171, 172. Everybody thought, okay, he's like the god of skiers, and he is, of course.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't.
That's pretty controversial. I thought you were about to go and say, but he's not that good.
No, but like the thing is that Also, Ramon Sennhausen, who is 30 centimeters taller, he can also perform at the same level, and so it has a lot to do of your body structure, how you ski, and that is a very and I think that's very good that we let the people that freedom, because every body, every type of person is different, and
how does that? I have to ask this question because it's actually a question that comes from me a little bit. Now, you're right. There is that freedom and that flexibility in the system. I get that, and I see it, and I read it. You know, we talked about it in that meeting that we had.
Yeah.
But then there's a certain amount, I think, of how would you explain it? A sort of arm carriage style that looks like it's come down through the ages, like it's almost like a traditional thing. It doesn't seem to serve any kind of functional purpose, but there's definitely a way that you guys, Swiss guys, or people who've hung around and skied in Switzerland too long, like me, do that thing when they plant their pole. That sort of looks a bit like a... Do you remember when you said to me, I know the basic guys who will ski like this, and you did that amazing impression? Do you remember? And I was like, shit, like that's exactly how they all ski. And then, so you can flick between the two, but there's definitely a sort of, you'd almost call it like an opening of a door or something, kind of thing. Does that come from the old-fashioned short turn, short swing? Do you think?
I mean, definitely, I think that, well, we definitely have like some kind of a tradition in our style, just because like in the old days when the carving skis came out, okay, you always need to have your both skis down onto the snow. They have to be like sort of like grounded. You cannot lift it up, and we are still lifting up our inside ski with short turns, with carving short turns, and but it's not like a style thing. It has to do with the function, because if I lift up my inner ski to release pressure at the end of the turn, I can like step. I can roll quicker onto my future outside ski, so it has like a function in it, and not sort of like, it's just because we still want to ski like we did back in the 80s.
No, but there's like plenty of guys that do that. Yeah,
and like I have to say that back in the demo team, it was difficult for us because we ski very dynamic, but it was very hard to synchronize that with 8 guys, because like everybody was pushing 100% on their skis, and it looked very, very dynamic and stuff like that, but it was not always very synchronized. So like there we also had to like in a show effect for a show, we also had to get back to 90% to 80%, and to exactly what you said, that okay, listen, Demian, you have to do the pole plant as the other 7 guys, otherwise it just looks bad in that show, you know. So there was a lot of talks about that as well, because you have to imagine, like, for the judges down on the slope who judge that, it's much easier to see the picture than the dynamics.
If one guy's doing something different.
So for us it was so that was definitely like a big talk when I was in the demo team, that, you know, like, okay guys, pack it up and let's try to ski quite similar.
Well, all the guys on the demo team, did they all have like a racing background?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is, when I was talking in the last interski with other teams, that is definitely a an advantage from our side if you are coming. It doesn't mean, don't get me wrong, like it doesn't mean that when you have been a ski racer that you are a great demonstrator and a great examinator and like an educator, but just like for that perspective, just like for a show effect, it definitely helps if everybody has a little bit the similar background. Also, just because when it's like really chopped up and it's like really difficult conditions, you just see who was had a better or like a good fundamental base background.
Because I've spoken to this about a few people, and it was more the case that sort of if you're used to racing, you kind of just do what you need to do to get down the course. Not really thinking too much about style or technique. You know, like you're just doing what you need to do. That would apply when the course is choppy. It would apply when the demo slope is choppy, right? But it sort of also reminds me a little bit of what is in the Swiss Snowsports system. It is just like here's how all the things do. Here's how all the bits and pieces work. How you use them, it seems to be very much up to you. You know,
and that is very so. In our last exam, when you become a ski instructor in Switzerland, you have to do 12 different exams, and so that means that you're doing from snowplow and wedge turns. Then you go into moguls, you go into off-piste, you go into slopestyle, you have a style jump, you have a long jump, you have giant slalom, you have slalom, you have short turns, you have this couloir, there's different couloirs which you need to... So I mean, it's very... We want to have the whole... We want to see the people on the whole mountain, and that is definitely something different than in other countries. I would say, like
100%.
With us, a freestyler, he still has also chances. Also, I'm now not talking about to make the course or not even to be the best in the course. Because he has as well slopestyle, he has as well freestyle jump, he has moguls. He would have a free ride run, so those are also like four disciplines where he can also, or he or she can also develop
score massive points.
Yeah, exactly.
Because for those that don't know, you've got to score an average of 4 out of 6 across all of those.
Exactly.
And you forgot to mention the short-term variations.
Yes.
Which no one else does. Which are crazy. Which are Swedish turns.
Swedish scissor turns. Norwegian turn.
Dolphin turns. Can't remember what the others are.
Yeah.
But,
5 from the 5 short-term variations, you have to perform 4 out of 5. Yeah.
Moving into each other.
That's
actually the free run, I think, was the most interesting thing from my point of view. Also the fact that there's freestyle in it. So you don't. My natural comparison is the British system. No freestyle in it whatsoever. And the thing is, when you're out on the mountain teaching kids, they want to do freestyle. There isn't a kid alive that doesn't want to go into the snow park. You know, so it's cool to be able to do a few things. I personally try to teach myself something new like every year, just to kind of, I wouldn't say stay trendy because that's too old for that, but like, you know, it's nice to be able to bust out a trick every now and then if you've got it.
Exactly.
Like, you've got to, otherwise you're not credible, really.
And that's sort of like also like that's what sort of like the market demands. I mean, as what you say, like there's a whole freestyle thing with the youth. So that then there's the whole free ride section, and then there's of course the race section and the slope section. So we just try to to cover up all of those of those market points.
It's really, really impressive. But also, it's like 14 days in a row, 12 days in a row.
The last course is 14 days. Yeah.
Straight.
Yeah.
No breaks.
No breaks.
So Swiss.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
hard too, right?
That's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough for the people who come to the course, because like that's also like a thing, like always at the first night on the meeting, when I gather my 8 or 10 people in my group, it's always just like, you know, you don't have to put in every turn 100% in it. You have to be clever. You have to.
Everything's all right?
Everything is perfect. Thank you. And also, you know, they just have to stay healthy, drink a lot of water, eat good food, and because like we have like sort of like a week of education, and then there is 2 days of sort of methodological tests, and then after that it's 4 days straight where you do those technical exams. It's serious. It's serious. Yeah.
But what strikes me is all the way through the whole thing is this concept of agility. The agility runs through the whole thing. You know, like so snowpart, short-term variations, short turns are extremely dynamic. You know, like it's clearly very important to the Swiss that is a fundamental part of their skiing.
Yeah.
That sort of fluidity and that kind of ability to move, you know, like really move.
That's why also like that's why we still have those, as what you said before, those that short-term variation, because like the thing is that just people got lazy. I like skiing is still a sport, but like with this short-term variation, like it's so sometimes the first time that you actually see them breathe and like see them like going on. And of course, if you don't use the whole dynamic of your skis, then you just have to jump higher and you just have to develop so much more than what you get out of your ski. But like for us, that is like a thing that we just train our people to actually move and to do some coordination on the skis as well. It's
funny, Peter Kuehl, a good friend of mine, Peter Kuehl, said the same thing. He said, if you're not out of breath when you're at the bottom, you're not working hard enough. So fair enough, like it is a sport.
It is.
But do you know, one of the things about that, and I suppose you do have to go up and do those extra runs and kind of keep yourself going during the season, because if you're just doing sort of regular teaching, you're probably skiing at 20% of your capacity?
Yeah.
Less than you, probably. But like, it's you know, you can kind of, as you combine that with like a big lunch every day, and like at the end of the season, it's like, okay, I would have thought I'd be fitter than this by the end of the season.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No, it is. I mean, that is. I mean, I also had to learn that when I came back from my whole. Like sort of when I came back from my ski racing career, and then like in the demo team, I thought, okay, like I always have to like show off and try to, like even in when I was just ski instructing here back home, I had my race boots on and like, you know, I had my edges always sharpened and stuff like that, but it's just not healthy to do that on a regular basis. Like if you work from beginning of December until end of April and you just go on and on and on like that, your knees and your hips, I mean, I feel it now. I mean, that's why sort of I'm not hardly skiing anymore on slalom race courses anymore, because at the end of the day I'm just almost like tired, and like everything starts to hurt. So that was also like sort of like a development which I had to understand and learn, you know, that speaking about skis as well, like in our system, like we are usually exactly what I said. We are on those slalom skis, 165s. The girls on the 155s. Yeah. And that's different because in other countries they have like a sort of a 175 19 meter radius, and I've been skiing on those skis and I actually really like it, because in one way you actually have to do a little bit more effort, but it's also a little bit more forgiving on your body.
What's your daily ski these days?
My daily skis these days is like a 175 18 19 meter radius.
You ski on Fisher?
Yeah, I'm skiing on Fisher. And
so you've been like a car? What's it?
It's a curve. The curve, progressor, those type of skis.
I've just gone to the Castley RX12.
Okay.
16 meter radius, 175. It's just like does kind of everything a bit well.
Exactly.
I spent 2 seasons skiing just for work, not really performance, but I've been doing it just for a while. But I spent 2 seasons on a 185 25 meter GS ski.
Okay.
Head GS, and that was a mellow ski when you're not like. Yeah. It's too. Like when you're out skiing and there's people around, it's too quick. Like you can't really use it very well. But actually, for short turns, it's not a bad ski. Like it turns in nice and it's got a nice sort of soft shovel, goes in all right, and it was okay just to cruise around on. Yeah. You know, comfortable. Yeah. Because it's long and it's sort of.
Yeah, it gives you stability.
Yeah. And you can kind of cruise back. Yeah. Fore and aft, it's okay. Yeah. But something a bit more lively is what I'm on now. So, but I couldn't ski daily on a 165 size, too much. Your legs you fry your legs too quick.
But our whole education is sort of on those.
Yeah,
skis.
So if you come for a Swiss Snowsports exam, that's the ski you come on.
Exactly. Yeah,
it makes sense.
And of course, in those exams, in those 12 different exams, in some exams, you definitely have to change your ski. I mean, like for giant slalom. Yeah. Of course, sometimes even if you don't feel very comfortable on a giant slalom ski, sometimes you just recommend, just stick onto your slalom ski and go for it. Because sometimes it's better.
You just worry that fast.
But on the other fact, we just try to do as much as possible just on one ski, because for us it's still important that the person who's on the skis adjusts, and not that you have 16 pairs of skis up there for those 2 weeks and each run you need to go and change your ski. That's not the point. No. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hope you're enjoying this interview with Demian, and I really think that it really shines through the kind of interaction that we have on this interview, and I so much enjoyed having this chat with Demian. It was really, really cool to have this Swiss perspective on skiing, which I've been searching for a very long time, and I've got in mind a couple of other Swiss that I'd really like to speak to. Also, in terms of interviews coming up, there's already 2 in the can, so we're going to get an Austrian perspective for the next one, and then something a little bit different with a guy called Richard from Snowbility, which is to do with skiing with people with learning disabilities and that kind of thing. So the next 2 are already there, ready to be edited, and I'll get round to those when I've got a moment. With the second half of this podcast, we talk a little bit more about we talk about skiing culture, Swiss skiing culture, and we then go on to talk about the Zermatt Ski Club and their young athletes, and a couple of other bits and pieces in there too. So from a Switzerland that's getting a little bit colder, we've got 1 degree and some snow forecast for Sunday. So winter is arriving. I know there's a metre of snow forecast in some of the higher areas in Austria as well. So looks like winter's well on its way. We've seen, well, I don't know how much store you take by this, but there's definitely a lot of spiders around this summer, which and they're coming into the house, which I think is a sign of a cold winter to come. There's berries on the tree, and I'm reliably informed that the molehills are bigger this year than usual. So cold one to come, maybe, we'll see, and I'll speak to you, or I'll see you on the next podcast. Until then, if you're skiing, happy skiing. Swiss skiing culture. I've got 2 questions in relation to this. Here's the one that I've always wanted to know. Well, I mentioned this a couple of times to fellow Swiss, but how can I put this? If you grew up on skis, compared to, say, someone who grew up in the UK, who learned skiing at an older age, you don't know what it's like to be rubbish, because you learnt it. Do you see what I mean? It's in there, right? You've never known a time when you couldn't ski.
No, like that's such an interesting topic, because one of my
and I don't mean to say it's a bad thing.
No.
What I'm saying is it's something that, because I learned when I'm one of these strange British people who ski on carpet, right?
Right.
Like, and that's how I learned, like on a dry slope in Hemel on some brushes.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know.
Well, Dave Riding came out quite well.
Did it right. I saw him the other day on a lift.
Oh, really?
He's in great form, yeah. Gone back to Fisher.
I heard. Yeah.
Which I think is a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, I've been with the British and the Australians back in the days. We were often together in training, so I know Dave from those days. Yeah, he's a great bloke.
Yeah. So like I said, but I have an awareness of what it's like not to be able to ski, and so actually my as a Britisher, my experience of skiing is actually to be thinking all the time. It literally every turn. That was a good one. That was a crap one. That was a good one. That's a good one. Maybe that one was all right. Could have done that a bit differently. Like it's constant. Now I don't know if you, as a Swiss, going up through ski club, like all of that stuff, whether that happens to you or whether for you skiing is just skiing.
Well, let's put it that way. I think that the whole, as what you say, like the whole reflection point, like from one turn to the other, and was it good or was it bad? In those days when you were like in the tunnel of ski racing, you had one coach, you believed him everything. It was never a dialogue. It was more like a monologue. You know, he was just like he was always just chatting. And if he didn't chat anything, then you were like asking, so how was it? You know, so you were just this guy in a race suit and a helmet on, and you were just like taking orders from the coach, and okay, I need to do that, but I never self-reflect anything. This whole self-reflection actually just started afterwards when I just like started with ski instructing and starting with examining and reading the books, writing even sometimes like some technical manuals or whatever. That's where this whole reflection actually started, and I think that's like that's like the sad and the fun thing about it. Like if I would have known everything what I know now about in those days when I would have been an athlete,
maybe you would have been even better.
Yeah, that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
So this whole education in ski racing never actually really comes to you. And like when I was now a coach for several years, I always, of course, sometimes I also step back into that same routine as the coaches in back days with me, but I always try to explain why you're doing, or why are you doing this exercise, or like so sort of like when they are okay, like this is an exercise with your arms or with your inner leg, or bending your inside leg a little bit more. It's why do you need to do it? What is the result? Or why do I want to get there too? And that's I think that was very important. Back to you, in one way, like as you can still like sort of like put yourself back as it was for you how to learn skiing.
Yeah.
I cannot reflect to that back, because when I started skiing I was 2.5. Like I have no clue what I like. So I think like in that point, if like whatever has, you can put yourself much better into that position when you have like a beginner. When you have somebody who touches the first time some snow or some, you can feel so much better into
that empathy, right?
Yeah. Into him.
So how do you do that when you have someone that's like that?
Like so sort of like
that's my question.
Yeah, so sort of.
Do you as someone who can't remember that? Do you have to kind of try and imagine what it's like?
So like that was like when I got one of my first clients here in Zermatt, and the ski school director told me, okay, you go up there, beginner slope, there's somebody coming up there. All right, go up, put one ski on, sliding, like you do the whole thing. But this person just didn't get it. And I was just like so frustrated, like, what is your problem? Like so
why can't you do this?
Yes, and then I saw all the other ski instructors doing so much better work than I did. Like they started at the same time as me, but like their person already did like one turn to one side and to the other side, and I've been just still struggling, and I was just like thinking, oh my god, what's wrong with me? And that was like a real interesting experience for me. To see how that works. But like then in the end, afterwards, when you read into the manuals, when you're teaching more, when you're teaching other ski instructors how to do those steps, you get more and more sort of knowledge, and so that's one part of how I developed in that respect, and also like trying different sports, like that I am a beginner, and then going into that, so like sort of okay, let's whatever, I cannot reflect back, but like sort of like going into the same process as well.
It's terrible. I tried last summer. I tried to learn how to play the guitar.
Okay.
It's so difficult.
I
was thinking, I'll just pick this up, no problem. How hard can it be? It's really difficult. And I actually gave up in the end because I was just like, this is too much. I just haven't got. Well, one, I just didn't really feel it. So I could play some stuff, like not very well. But I could play some notes in the right order.
Right.
But it was like when you looked into the background of it, it's quite mathematical, and then it's not for me.
Yeah.
Not for me. But I went ice skating the other day. That's really hard as well.
Yeah, I saw your video actually.
It's really
on social media.
Oh my god! Like, I mean, I could do it, but I'm not very good at it. and that frustrates me because I like to be really good at stuff first time out, and I just wasn't. But it was interesting because a lot of the movements seemed to be the same.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
but I think it's fun to try new stuff every now and again.
Exactly.
Just to remind yourself what it's like to be crap.
Yeah.
It's really important.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is, and that's what is also. That's what it's also so important that we are sometimes in those demo team trials, or when we are in those world championships or Swiss championships, that you have again this pressure on yourself, and like that you can afterwards also give some tips to your participations in the course. Just tell them, okay, like listen. Try to cool down and and try to concentrate on yourself and try to do your best performance. But if you never back in those situations, it's also like so hard to give like some good, in the end, some good tactical points, not so much technical points anymore, but more mentally and tactical points about it. And so those situations are very, very important as an examinator, as an educator as well.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. Tell me, culturally, right? You're from around here.
Right.
You live in Zermatt. Skiing in this part of the world, French Alps, Italian Alps, Swiss Alps, Austrian Alps. It's cultural here, right? It means, I'd say, in some ways more than to those that come from the lowland countries. To us, it's what I meant to say about this wasn't, and every now and then there's sort of arguments and stuff that we have with not arguments, but there's a lot of stuff going on with the French qualifications and the British and this, and argue backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
And having I've lived in France for a while, so I kind of I sort of think I understand it a little bit, but it might be the same here. But you grow up here, you grow up on skis, you're going skiing all the time, your folks or whatever. Then you join the ski club, you're 6, right? And you go through the ski club and you race to a certain level. And if you're not racing, you might be doing moguls or you might be doing something else, right? And let's say that you're not, and this is maybe France specific, but it probably applies to Switzerland as well. You pop out of that system, you're not quite good enough to make a certain team, and you think, I did my apprenticeship and I'm a carpenter in the summer, but in the winter I put on this red jacket and this is what we do here. And it's like a way of life.
Exactly.
Is that fair to say? Is that your experience of growing up around here?
In my days, yes, still, I would say. Or like in the older days, definitely. I mean, that was like sort of, okay, you're a mountain guide, you're a ski teacher. In winter, in summer, you're a farmer or you're a carpenter, and that's how you feed your family, and it goes all well. These days, I mean, it is a little bit different. I mean, like the youth has so much more possibilities. I think the youth are also a little bit more. They don't want to stick around into season works. They rather have something on a year basis, safe income, weekends off. That's what we struggle a little bit now in Switzerland as well. Like to get more ski instructors into our ski school, because it's not so.
Is that the case, really?
Yeah.
You're struggling for people?
Yeah. We struggle. Not maybe like in the big hubs of ski destinations, like in Zermatt, St. Moritz, Gstaad, Davos. We still have like a lot of people. either they're from here or they apply to come and work for us. But generally, it is a little bit of a struggle with ski school, like just like that this whole season thing. You know, like it's just so not. It's not so interesting anymore. So what ski schools are trying to do now these days is, you know, they're trying to be inventive with summer sports. They're doing whatever. So they're doing mountain guiding. They're doing bike riding. They're doing bike guides. There's even a cooperation between the bike guides and the ski teachers, where you can do like a sort of like a shorter version of their education. And so that is, I think that will be that is like sort of the key to keep those young people in there, that you will not be sort of like a ski instructor you're more than like a outdoor guide. That you can do in autumn something, you can do in spring something, you can do in winter something, that you're like just covered more or less for
we have
months,
the same thing where I live, right? You know, you've got people that are, Champery, for example, you know, you're 40-50 minutes away from Lausanne. If you're a kid, why would you not go and live in Lausanne? It's more interesting, there's more stuff going on. I get it, totally.
From the whole cultural thing, it is definitely if you choose after ski racing to go afterwards into ski instructing or into whatever I did afterwards, education and examinator and stuff like that, you can actually have, how shall I explain that? You can have a job and you can earn money with it.
Yeah.
As a former ex-hockey player or football players, there's not so many players who afterwards choose the way of being a coach, and being a coach on a quite a decent level where you can get a decent salary out of it. So that is sort of like, that is the cool part about this the ski racing part. Of course, afterwards, if you want to be afterwards the head coach of the Swiss ski team, of course you will have a not bad salary, but of course it never applies to something like Barcelona or Manchester. But
well, and of course there's less of those positions available.
Exactly.
You know, there's what, I don't know how many nationalities competing on the World Cup, but there's not that many of those positions.
No.
You know, there's 18 teams in the UK Premier League who are all earning fortunes, right?
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, so that is like definitely like a cool way to see it. Like, even if you don't make it, and if you go study in university, you can become a ski instructor, and you can help pay the university fees and stuff like that. And it's definitely also like of course, if you're a good skier here in a mountain village, or if you have you're a good mountain guide, or have been a good professional climber, your status in the village is definitely a little bit higher than if you have been like a professional soccer player. You know what I mean? Like, I guess back in Manchester or Liverpool or wherever, nobody cares if you have been a professional ski racer, but if you've been a professional soccer player,
it's different.
Just your value just gets higher, and that's.
Well, you see it in Morjan, right? You know, you sort of see Defago walking around, and you know, it's like that guy who won the Olympics. Like, that's him.
Yeah.
You know, and it's amazing to see that. I never tire of, you know, having a group of kids and go, see that guy?
Yeah.
See that guy over there?
Yeah.
And he's like the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Stop for anyone. Like, it's so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
So that is definitely like a little bit of a, I would say, like a cultural thing.
Yeah. It's in the blood, right?
Yeah.
It's in the blood.
Yeah.
My former boss, Rolf, he was always saying, it's in our blood. All right, I get it. British, I get it. One day I'll understand, maybe, if I'm lucky. But yeah. All right. So look, I'm taking a lot of your time. I'd love it if we could touch on you're still working with the ski club.
Yep.
Zermatt Ski Club.
Yep.
Now, tell me, do those guys have an advantage because you can ski all year round? Or do you?
So I still. So at the moment. So I've been before, like I was like 7 years or 6 years a coach in the ski valley team, and then I came back to the ski club. I was 3 years coaching here, and now I'm the president of the ski club. But I'm still going around into those different groups because we have 7 different groups. We have 160 kids.
Wait.
Yeah. So it's a big.
All from the village.
Yeah, there's definitely like I would say 20 till 30% is also like from Lausanne or from Zurich who have like a second home holiday apartment here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a lot of work.
A lot of kids.
Yeah, a lot of work, a lot of kids. And if they have an advantage here, in the old days, yes. Now, no.
No.
The kid from Lausanne has the same days on snow before the first race as the guy, as the person from Zermatt. And that is, in one way, absolutely crazy. I mean, if you just see how many kids are going up there in summer, which are like 8, 9, 10 years old, and they spend like 20, 30 days on those glaciers. Every day costs like $100. And you have a lot, sometimes some days which are cancelled because of weather, because of wind.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of work they put in is crazy, and like the thing is that is also a little bit the problem with the whole structure of the ski. Like those kids afterwards, when they're like 13, 14, 15, like there's each weekend there's like almost a race. So like you have to do your technical basement, you have to train in summer to perform in winter. You almost don't have time anymore to train in winter.
Because it's just
like always, next weekend we have giant slalom. Okay, so we train giant slalom. Oh, next weekend is Super G. Okay, let's train Super G. Like it's always just like, and that's so difficult because in one way that would be nice to actually use the whole playground in winter to go mogul skiing, to go off-piste, to go into the park and stuff, all those things which you cannot do in summer.
At a race.
Yeah. And so in the old days, yes, we had an advantage that we were living in Zermatt and we've been living and we could train in summer. But these days, no.
Not so much.
No.
But that, I suppose, in a way, isn't that good for the overall pyramid of Swiss skiing? In that you've got more kids who can be involved, I suppose.
Of course.
Because you might pick up the kid from Lausanne who you might have not got 20 years ago.
Of course. Of course. Like those whole regional teams are so much. They're like it just got so much more professional. You know.
Everything.
Like it's like everything. Like the parents they stick their kids into those buses. You say goodbye on Friday evening. They sometimes come back not even on Sunday evening. They come back Monday or Tuesday. They already can go out of school or whatever. And it's not parents anymore on the slopes. It's actually coaches and which are on a 6 till 12 months salary. Like it's so much more professional. But yeah, of course, for the whole pyramid. For the whole, like you just get involved so much more kids which can get that opportunity.
That's right.
Yeah. It's not only
the kids with the same.
Yeah. It's not anymore Valleys, Graubünden, and Bern kids, which are there.
Yeah.
So much more.
That's okay. Have you got any amazing skiers coming through the Zermatt ranks? Anyone we need to look out for?
Yeah, I mean there is.
Some of these kids are amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I know a kid. I keep mentioning him on this podcast, but Tommy. I've known him since he was quite little.
Right.
Teaching him football and occasionally a bit of skiing. He skis for Ski Roman now.
Okay.
And also, he's because he's a certain age now, he's in the gym, so he's like, he's a big guy now.
Yeah.
For his age, and he can ski. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable what he can do at like 13, 14.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
It's just,
no, I mean there's definitely kids here which can make the move to become very good and very successful in ski racing. It's just you need to have like a bunch of kids. You need to have 160 kids in a team that there's maybe one coming out of it.
Yeah,
like,
I see.
It's just there's just so much involved. Like, then
they say that with the football in the UK. So they do the same thing. So the percentage of kids that come out and make it compared to the participation is tiny.
Tiny.
And they say to the parents, like, whatever you do not bank on this kid playing in the Premier League, because it is so the chances of them making it are so small.
Yeah. I mean, until they're 15, 16, you really don't know if they're actually doing the sport because of the parents or if they're doing it by themselves.
Yeah.
Until they're like 16, until they can actually speak for themselves a little bit. And then if they were pushed too hard, then after 16, 17, they want to go their own way and they go and party, they just lose it.
Yeah.
And or the parents say, okay, like, yeah, that was now fun, but now go to school, go and be a doctor or whatever.
Get a real job, get a
real life,
Yeah.
And then the whole point of injuries, for those kids, as you mentioned just before, these kids are skiing on those 155 slalom skis, super edgy, super like tuned stuff, everything like already almost on the limits of their equipment, but their bodies are not really ready for it. But the force which is coming back, just like the G forces which is coming to their hips and to their back and knees is just it's just amazing, and that's what that's the sad thing about that sport, that sometimes with they come into the C team, B team, but they already been worn out, cooked out just to make it to there. They've not even touched the sky yet, But
and so what then gets those guys through from there to the upper levels? I guess it's just mental strength or like a wanting it kind of thing.
Yes, and also want somebody who, I think that you have to like fall once or twice on your head and like get an injury and like start. Okay, talent enough and just skiing enough, just skiing well is not enough for that level. I need to focus first on my body and just get my base ready. To go afterwards further up, and that's how usually, like, especially you see it as a lot with women, that they are like fantastic, good talent skiers. They go through European Cup, World Cup almost like butter, but then they got once injured, and then a second time, and then there has to be a coach or somebody who tells them, okay, and now we start to focus on your physical abilities before you go back onto the snow again. Yeah.
Amazing. Where's the biggest dropout in the club? I guess it's the age where everyone discovers boys and girls and other interesting things.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely like with 15, 16. But that's an issue which we have sort of, especially in Switzerland, because in Switzerland afterwards, when you're like 15, you choose an academic way. You go to gymnasium, or you're staying at home. You're becoming a carpenter or a cook. So like there's already like a big decision making, and there's already a big dropout. And as I said before, with 16, 17, they start to think their own way, and so that makes them a little bit like, okay, do I really want to do that?
Yeah.
And so I think it's those two perspectives. In one way, like sort of the pressure from the parents, from the school, from society, and then on the other hand, also their personal interests.
Yeah.
And that's where the big dropout is.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to... I didn't mention this. Do you want to finish off... I keep seeing social media posts of you going heli skiing. Where? I've never been heli skiing, and I want to know a bit more about it. Is that something you just do for fun, or you got to tie up with someone? What's that all about?
Oh, well, I was so fortunate that, well, I don't know when was it. So I have, sometimes I have clients where I have one client here, which is in summer, and he doesn't really like to go up in the gondola in the morning, so we usually pick up the chopper from the village and go up, and then
Zermatt, right?
Yeah, exactly, and then also take the chopper down. Yeah. So that's just like for transport. I mean, that's not heli skiing. And then I was fortunate enough to know somebody who sort of owns like a heli ski company back in Canada, which is called Stellar Heli Ski, and it was such a great experience, because even then Sandra Landsteiner and Henrik Lindstedt, like they're two fantastic free riders. Like, I mean, Henrik won the freeride world tour and stuff like that, and I could just ski with them, and I was so stressed because they almost had to always wait for me, then otherwise it's always the opposite, you know. So no, I mean, that was a lifetime experience, and so that was great. And then sometimes we can back in Sweden in spring I go often there with skiers accredited. It's like it's like a sort of like a passionate ski club for passionate skiers, and we meet up there, and then and sometimes we go heli skiing up there as well. But like, I'm not a guide, so I'm just like following them. But what my job is there is just like a sort of like a I make the end of the group if something would happen, and then also giving them some technical or some tactical advices.
Yeah, nice.
Because sort of like the guide is there for his job is the safety. Yeah. And then I just try to make their experience afterwards better or easier, that they can actually hop into the chopper the next day again.
So nice. So good. I have one last thing that just struck me. When you're racing, when you're doing your stuff with Zermatt Ski Club, do you ever do things against the guys from the Cervinia side? And what does their club look like compared to yours? Do they do things much the same way? Or are they a bit more kind of Italian about it, like a bit more free and easy?
I mean,
I love skiing on that stuff.
I love it, and I just love the just the passion about ski racing back in Italy is just crazy. I mean,
I don't want to talk bad about Zermatt because you're from here. Every time you go over to the Italian side, they're having so much more fun over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's less serious.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. It's less
It's so
serious.
good.
It's so, and it's also so. It's just Italy. It's you're welcome. I mean, that's. I love to go skiing over there as well, especially for the lunches, of course, as well. But
They eat like gods over there.
yeah. But yeah, no, it's just interesting. It's you see sometimes like a fantastic coach who skis fantastically well, and then there's like 20 kids behind that coach, and just like, and they all have their little racing suits on, and but their structure is like you see a lot of the ski teams up in you see a lot of the ski club members up on the summer, up on the glacier. Training, so that's, I guess, quite similar to our racing team back here. I think their focus is definitely still like very traditional red blue. Like they would never. I don't really see them often like going, okay, let's go and have a day of powder skiing or a day of moguls or whatever like that. So it's very
in the gates.
It's in the gates. That's what you do. That's it. We had 2-3 years ago we started to have like a competition. Like once we went over to their place and they came over to our place to have like a meet and greet and like sort of a competition for the ski club kids. And in the old days, we also had that actually with the ski school, like that we had like a night event here, like a parallel slalom, and also a parallel slalom over in Cervinia, and it's fantastic, when you ski over there, when you have your red jacket on and everybody's like greeting you and stuff like that. But I think that disappeared a little bit because, I mean, they have so many more ski schools, like and here we have as well like a bunch of ski schools, and so. You don't know each other anymore, Like I guess in the old days, this was.
I'm big on this topic. About where we are in the Porte du Soleil, it's still friendly like that. Everyone sees. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. Don't get that when I go to Verbier. I don't skied here professionally, so I don't know what it's like. But
here, like, I have to say, like the in January or in March, when there's only the core team of those different ski schools, yes, then you know each other. Yeah. But then in February and in over Christmas and New Year, it just explodes. They just come out of their holes from everywhere, and you see just people that you have never seen before, and then of course it's more difficult and stuff like that. But I mean, I still have a great relationship with other ski schools here, and I think it's just it helped the destination 25-30 years ago that other ski school came, brought us back to earth, trying to be a little bit more service minded, and yeah, I mean that's
I don't see it.
That's like the. I mean, in Switzerland we are very free. Everybody can. If you have your patent and if you have your brevet, you can open your ski school. And in the end, like I'm not happy about the French way how they do it. Like you almost get like into prison when you're like instructing somewhere. So I mean, I think we have it quite under control here. I mean, we have like 7, 8, 9 different ski schools. I mean, and we need them. I mean, it's the thing. That's the thing. Like, I mean, if there's the demand is so high on it, So like we
Wow.
we cannot even cover them.
And I think this is the thing. I think if you're of a relatively small mind, I've said this before in the podcast, if you're of a small-minded nature, you think there's only so much work to go around. It's not the case.
No.
You know, you would have seen that here. You add another 5 or 6 ski schools, everyone's still got enough work.
Yeah.
It means more people are coming.
Yeah.
And actually, isn't that what we all want? We just want as many people to ski as possible,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I've just finished rewriting that as a section of the bottom of the website redesign that I've done for my ski school. So I don't even care that much if you don't ski with me on my ski school. I just want you to come and ski.
Yeah.
I just want you up here because
Yeah.
it's so good what we do.
Yeah.
And you've got to come and be part of it. You have to try. It's really important that because we're in a sport where the relative age of the people doing it is going up, and the numbers are going down as people die off.
Yeah.
And we've got to get more and more people into the sport. We have to.
Yeah.
And if that means, and like I say, I think the Swiss way is good. If you get the right, and it's the same way actually with everything in Switzerland, you get the right tickets, the right stamps on your bit of paper,
Yeah.
give you the bit of paper, and it's like, cool, off you go.
Yeah.
Like you're part of what we're trying to do here.
Exactly.
So that's good in a way. Okay. Is there anything else you wanna cover?
No, I mean it was very nice, Dave. Thank you for inviting me into this podcast. And
if people want to get hold of you for whatever reason, where would they be best to find you? They just walk into the Ski Swiss and Zermatt, say, hey, I want to ski with that guy. I want to go helicopter skiing. What's the best way?
Oh, the best way, I guess, email or
up to you. I can add it into the podcast notes later if you want.
Just you can just drop in my email address and then that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Perfect.
Right. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Awesome.
Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.